I literally could talk about this for the entire semester and talk about nothing else. Do you think you're weak?
So I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. $150. I had a lot of things in my life that made me think I was weak. That made me embrace my hair even more, because I was like, you know what? I can take my little non-swimming to the ocean right now, flip my hair up, and sing "Part of Your World" out of nowhere and feel happy about it.
Like when you're just seeing Little Mermaid or Cinderella or whatever, and they're always white, and then suddenly, whoa, there's one that's not. If you're not black or brown, if you're not in that, you don't really understand how powerful that is or why it matters. Can you just help explain what that meant for you? Like why? So when you saw that, how old were you when you first realized, wow, I don't see people that look like me? It's really pretty profound that in this nation, that black women and black men can't wear hair. It's a little different with men because you just get shaved off, right? You can't wear hair natural. You know what I mean? You can go die in battle, you can kill people in battle, but you can't wear your hair natural. Final statement, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Think about free will and determinism. The idea, this is so essential, and I know I keep coming back to this, but I literally could talk about this for the entire semester and talk about nothing else, because everything that we think about causality and what is and is not the cause of human behavior, it's either some sort of internal motivation or it's shaped by things outside of our control, outside of us, okay? And they're always fused at some level. They're always in play, but it's like, it's kind of going this way, leaning a little bit this way, or a little bit this way, but it's never 50-50. That it's like, oh, the reason, for example, I became a college professor is because I chose to, all the way down here. Of course, it's not that. There were factors and forces completely out of my control, and I had no choice in the matter. No, it's not that either. It just is back and forth. Some things were in play. So going back to the question, do you think I'm weak? If you remember, the conversation was around your hair. We oftentimes blame the system. But when is it not the system and it's just you, man? Just make that decision. Like, man,
so you're calling me weak? Yeah, so you're calling me weak, and that I should be more empowered in my own way and say F what society is saying and do my own thing.
No, well, actually, as a sociologist, I would say the vast majority of us are socialized to follow what we follow. From within the perspective of our culture and the way people think about it, if you're free, if we are free, and in this culture, people, unless you're a sociologist and you're always thinking about constraints, okay, then people live in this world of thinking that we're free. And like, it's okay, when I'm making decisions, and if I make a bad decision, it's my fault, and if I make a good decision, it's my fault. Everything is up there, right? And if we can't do those things, then obviously we're weak, okay? You said, when I look in a mirror and I see my natural hair, I don't like what I see. I'm not happy, right? So then you ask me, do you think I'm weak? And I realized I should have just come next to you and said, do you think you're weak? So I'm asking you. So you look in a mirror and you're not really happy with your hair and what you see, and not just because it's a bad hair day or something. That's not what I got from what you said, right? Do you think you're weak?
Not anymore. No, I don't think so. I think when I was younger, I definitely didn't like my natural hair and stuff. And I didn't like to wear it, and I wanted to wear it straight and all the time. But as I've gotten older, I've started to like it more. I'm kind of wearing it today. But like, I don't know. I don't feel weak anymore, but I definitely Probably when I was younger, yeah.
Well, I'm going to push back a little bit. Not push back, but I want to clarify. So weakness is the scale, right? You're on the fulcrum. You're never like entirely weak or not weak at all, right? So when you say not anymore, let me just ask you, so when is it that you feel more weak? By saying not anymore, that means I look in a mirror and I love every aspect of my. Okay.
I probably don't feel 100% like that. And I think, one reason I don't feel 100% like that is because sometimes I feel like I can't experiment with my hair too much. I don't like to experiment much, but when I do this, it's good. I know it's gonna be good, but like its natural state when it's like all short and frizzy, like I don't know how to really make it look good like that. So that's also why I feel like I don't want to wear it like that. But
so there are things associated with that.
So I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with you. $1.50. I had a lot of things in my life that made me think I was weak. The first thing that came about was my hair, because my mother didn't really know how to take care of her hair that well. So whenever she would do my hair, quote unquote, she would basically just get a perm it, let that thing burn for a good 30 minutes, and then wash it out. And then some of it would stay in my hair and it would damage it to a point where I was like, I don't even want to wear my hair like this anymore. Like, it just seems like a terrible damage. It doesn't seem like me. I just felt insecure. And I don't want to say my insecurity was my weakness, but at that time, I felt that insecurity was weakness. To me, insecurity, after a while, I've realized that it became my strength. Like, yes, I'm insecure about my hair. However, I know that it's mine. I know how to take care of it now. I know what can be styled in it now. I understand it more towards my personality. It's no longer having to be prohibited towards the standard of straight hair, the bob, a bang, and like probably like 2 or 3 streaks of like extensions. Because that's like mostly what was like broadcasted to me as a child, especially with Mermaids. I wanted to be a mermaid so bad, but I couldn't be a mermaid because I was like, I don't see anybody with my hair type on there, so it couldn't be the same. And, you know, they did the little aerial flip with the whoosh, you know, with the and when I saw Halle Bailey hit that, she looked good, and she ate that. And I was like, you know what? That made me embrace my hair even more, because I was like, you know what? I can take my little non-swimming into the ocean right now, flip my hair up, and sing "Part of Your World" out of nowhere and feel happy about it. I felt happy about something. That made me feel represented. That made me feel like I was seen. So after a while, I started to realize my weakness is not my weakness. It is my insecurity. And my insecurity is no longer my insecurity of weakness, but it is my strength.
You turn it into a strength. Dude, awesome. I like that. Hey, so you resonated with the Halle Berry piece? You resonated with the Little Mermaid piece?
Yeah, I really like the new Little Mermaid.
So can you explain to people why, for young Black and brown girls, why that's important? Like when you're just seeing Little Mermaid or Cinderella or whatever, and they're always white, and then suddenly, whoa, there's one that's not. If you're not Black or brown, if you're not in that, you don't really understand how powerful that is or why it matters. Can you just help explain what that meant for you? Like, why?
I just think, like you said, for a long time, like Disney princesses have only been like white, and then they had the Indian princess, and then they had Mulan, and then the only I don't want to say I'm complaining, but like the only African American princess they had, she was a frog for 70% of the movie. So brown, like African American people, we didn't really get like that much representation, but it's okay. Like, I still love those movies. Like the Little Mermaid, the original one, that's my favorite one. I like that movie.
The original
one
with the white Ariel.
With the white Ariel, yeah.
Yeah. Why
but
is
like,
that your favorite?
I don't know. It's like one of my classics. It was like the first one I've ever seen.
Oh, so it's one of your first. Because it has changed, right? Just in the past 15 years or so, since you were young, man, you've like grown up in a different world. Go back 15 years before that, it's like nothing at all. Like there's no representation, right?
And I think with the new Ariel of her being Black, and especially with her having like long locks, it's important. Like that's a whole side of our community that we see all the time, but we don't see in like a positive big screen role. Like we might see people, like we mostly see like negative in our community. We don't often see like the positive. To see a black girl with locks swimming in the ocean, like.
So when you saw that, how old were you when you first realized, well, I don't see people that look like me?
I feel like sometime in middle school, like not like 6th grade, I think probably, because then I started watching like Netflix and stuff, and that had more black and brown people.
And go lie to you, I grew up in a very large like Latinx or like Hispanic population, so I realized at like a very young age that people were different from me, but they were still black and brown, to a point where like sometimes you would see a person who was Hispanic, but they looked my shade. When I was younger, I would think they were black, so I would just go up to them and be like, hi, how are you? But then they would start speaking Spanish to me, and I would just be like confused. Like as a child, you don't realize that shade doesn't necessarily mean race.
Yeah.
So whenever you see somebody of your comfort in front of you, you automatically are going to like gravitate towards that. So that was my thing. Like I didn't live in like a population of strictly like white people, strictly like all that stuff, but the stereotypical like beauty standard was still there.
White has become the dominant because numerically and so on and so forth, right? And again, that's you all. It's changing in your generation that you see representation by black and brown people. But man, that is just like by people in the queer community. Everywhere you turn, somebody's gay, and people think that, whoa, there's so many gay people in the United States. Like if we ask students in this class, but imagine they were a cross-section of the American population, and they say, hey, everyone, write down on a piece of paper what percentage of the United States is gay or lesbian or bi or trans, okay? Yeah, and they, on the spectrum, right? And they wrote that number down. Then we took them all and we averaged them out. What would that average number be? What do you think?
It's definitely over 50.
You think, okay,
You think people would think it's like 50?
Because like you have to think about it like this. There are people out there who are out and proud with their homosexuality, with their transgenders, like personality, like not personality, but their transgender identity. But there are so many people who are on the DL or people who are literally in hiding because they're fearful of what people can and cannot do to them when they're like out and proud.
But you think that Americans would think it's like half the population is gay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was just gonna say 40.
Dude, it's 30. It's still loud. It's
Damn,
still
really?
high, man. Especially now because more and more people are identifying with something. So it's higher. But basically, in any population, about 3.5% of the population is gay. Like 3.5. But because of representation, so many actors and so many commercials and this and that, people think it's so high. So 50% is actually not that far off. What I'm hearing from the two of you is it matters for little kids to see people that represent them. And they feel something.
What's it called? I think one of the problems is, that's what I was thinking about like the whole time. Like when you're talking about the Little Mermaid, the problem is like that I seen on the internet, not saying anyone ever here did that, but they were saying, oh, why is she black? Like, why can't they just keep it the same? Just do that. Like, why does she have to be black? You're forcing race on us. Like, why can't she be black? Like, just, it's a fictional character. Just YOLO. Like, you can't try something different one day. Like, everything doesn't have to stay the same. Yeah. And also, once again, it boosts morale in, like, the black community. Can we have this one? Like, we're not erasing white people. There's white people everywhere, and there's going to be white people forever. Like, can we just have, like, 1 minute?
And you're still
kills me.
And you're saying
is that crazy?
And even the first Ariel, the first one is still your favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the first one is better than the one that right now. Respectfully, like all shout outs to Haley Bailey because she did her thing and she did that. But like the original one is better. I don't know, the way they did Under the Sea in the second one, I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Before 2014, in the U.S. military, these were all unauthorized styles. Like women in the military, they can't wear two-strand twists, which is both of you know, that's very common. Dreadlocks and afros. Like you can't wear just afro. You got it. Like you can't wear that in the military. So if you're a black woman and you join the military, you can go off and die for your country, but your hair's got to be like all worn in the way it can't be worn natural. So you got to be unnatural, but you can still die for your country, right? So this is when I think about hair, when we first started this conversation, well, we're still dealing with this, right? And I just want to do one more thing. I want to show you something, by the way. So we talked about, this is like, you know, the guy who did this is Oprah Winfrey's hairdresser. Andre Walker was his name. He's the one that came up with these. And so, but I want to show you this, right? So this is clearly 4C is the most. Look at, it just comes together. That my brother probably had like 3B, if I had to guess. Okay? I want to show you a photo of my brother. That's him right there.
He ate that. He ate that. He ate that. You ever seen you ever seen that Michael Jackson movie?
Yeah.
And they were like in those little short shorts and that damn crop top. Yeah. That's what he giving. And he ate that.
Dude, come on, man. That was 1976.
Baby, he can get racially ambiguous if he tried.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. Yeah, his name was Joe. He went to a school that was like 60% black, and they call him Afro Joe.
My brother and fro.
He had a pick. He picked his hair out all the time, man. Dude, is that awesome?
You roller skate?
He did not roller skate. No.
Damn.
No. But the idea being that you couldn't wear hair, he went in the military, he had to cut it all off, right? So, can't wear his hair
all that
natural.
hard work undone by the government. Ain't that something?
Dude.
Ain't that?
It's like a repeated record, ain't it?
Dude. So the point being, and then we're going to finish this on the following idea. The point being, if we go back to this, the military here, it's really pretty profound that in this nation, that black women and black men can't wear hair. It's a little different with men because he just gets shaved off, right? But you can't wear hair natural. You know what I mean? You can go die in battle, you can kill people in battle, but you can't wear your hair natural. And this is like why this has been such an issue and how far we've come, right? We've really come a long way, and yet we still have a long way to go. Final statement, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Perfection, right? You see perfection?
Thank you. Yeah.